This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It's 5 o'clock here on your Wednesday morning. Good morning to you. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Here's what's making headlines on this February 19th. Dating violence among teens is a growing problem across the country. Our Kelsey Anderson is working for you this morning with a look at how bad this problem is and what schools are now doing to help.
Plus, Purdue University is aiming to make college more affordable for some Hoosier students. We'll tell you all about the university's new Fresh Start program and how your student can get a year of college free.
And we have an update on the condition of NASCAR driver Ryan Newman this morning. The statement from his team, including how he's doing, and a heartfelt message from his family. But first, we do need to get a check of your Storm Team 6 forecast.
That's right. Todd Clausen is standing by this morning, and it's a much chillier start to what we saw yesterday, Todd.
Yeah, yesterday some of us were walking out to temperatures in the 50s. Not the case here this morning, and it will get colder than this as the week goes on. But 26 right now is the current temperature in Indianapolis, 25 in Bloomington and Peru. It's 24 over in Richmond. So everybody's within a couple degrees of each other, and that's because we're all in the same air mass, and we all have mainly clear skies on this Wednesday morning. Here's a view from IMS looking back towards downtown Indianapolis. You can see the skyline. We don't have those low overhanging clouds. We don't have any visibility issues this morning. So all you really have to do to prepare yourself for the day is to grab the sunglasses and the warmer jacket, as temperatures today will be running just a little bit below normal. But here are the clear skies back off to our west. Nothing really to talk about. This snow will not impact us whatsoever. So it's been a sun-filled day for us, or it will be a sun-filled day for us from start to finish. And as far as your temperatures go, 33 degrees by the noon hour with high temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. So it'll be pretty pleasant this afternoon. We'll talk more about the extended forecast, Lauren, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's plan out your drive heading in from the west side this morning on I-74. Traveling eastbound from Brownsburg to the west side, you can see traffic here is moving along smoothly. A 7-minute drive from State Road 267 to the 465 ramps. Let's take a look right now live outside. This is on the southeast side of town. I-465 and Arlington Avenue. Traffic here is moving along up to speed this morning. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated if there are any delays or spots where you need to reroute. Here at 502, though, we began with a Call 6 investigation this morning. We're learning that this mentally ill truck driver was cleared to drive by a Missouri doctor just months before that deadly crash that left an Indianapolis mother and her twin daughters dead.
Alana Kuntz and her babies, Ruby and June, were killed on July 14th last year when a semi-truck plowed into their vehicle on I-465. Bruce Pollard with Western Transportation out of Missouri pleaded guilty but mentally ill on charges related to the deadly crash. Medical records show Pollard had an extensive history of mental illness, including schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and lesions on his brain. However, in May of 2019, just months before the deadly crash, Pollard passed a Missouri State certified medical exam.
Call 6 Investigates did some checking and found medical exams for truckers include cognitive and behavior testing, and drivers are asked to disclose any history of mental illness. Gary Langston is the president of Indiana Motor Truck Association, who says the trucking industry greatly relies on state certified medical examiners to make sure that drivers are fit to drive.
It's an extensive evaluation. The unfortunate part about that is that, a person who might have some issue might not have an issue that day, and it might not be readily identifiable.
Well, the Missouri Department of Revenue, which is the state agency that issues CDLs, declined to comment on how Pollard got his commercial driver's license in Missouri. A spokeswoman cited an ongoing investigation. Pollard will be sentenced on March 27th. He will likely spend time in the Department of Correction in a separate mental health facility.
Dating violence among teens is a growing problem across the country, and school policies are being looked at as a way to curb the growing number of students impacted by it. According to a study out of Ball State University, as of right now, most schools don't have a plan when it comes to taking action against teen dating violence. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with what advocates say needs to change. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Meredith. So what this study found was out of principals interviewed nationwide, more than 75% said they don't have protocol in place when it comes to teen dating violence. But of those same principals interviewed, more than 50% said that they've dealt with survivors of teen dating violence in the last 2 years. So teen dating violence isn't just physical abuse. Colleen Yeakel with the Indiana Coalition to End Domestic Violence says teen dating violence can be emotional, mental, and in today's world, on the internet. She says it's important that schools are proactive when it comes to combating teen violence by adopting new policies.
It clarifies for staff what their responsibilities are. It gives them guidance. Most policies include training for staff to prepare them to notice when abusive behaviors are happening so that they can proactively intervene and stop it before it escalates.
She says because of the Title IX here in Indiana, schools are supposed to have policies in place when it comes to violence and abuse. Now, for more information on combating teen dating violence and model policies that the Indiana Coalition Against Domestic Violence has made, visit this story on the RTV6 News app. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. Covering education this morning in a campus-wide email, Ball State University President Jeffrey Mearns is promising to make campus a welcoming place for everyone. This comes after last month's incident where a professor called university police on a student who wouldn't change seats. Last week, the university announced that professor, Dr. Shaheen Borna, will not be teaching for the rest of the semester. But students we spoke to say they want more specific updates on what the university plans to do to make everyone feel welcome.
As someone who I feel like I've tried to kind of follow with this story, it's been hard to kind of see what direct changes they're actually trying to do to prevent it from happening in the future.
President Mearns says he's listening to feedback from lots of groups and people to implement changes. He also asked for patience as the university works to move forward. It's still unclear whether Dr. Borna will remain at the university.
Now to West Lafayette, Purdue is launching a new program to make college more affordable for some Hoosier students. The Fast Start program is a partnership between Purdue and modernstates.org. It allows Indiana high school students to earn up to a year of college credit for free. Students enroll in free online courses and take the corresponding college level examination program exams. Anyone who passed 5 courses and exams will automatically be admitted to Purdue. Passing 5 CLEP exams is the equivalent of 1 semester and can save students and their parents almost $11,000. You can find out more about this program and how to enroll on the RTV6 app.
Dozens of people made their voices heard at a meeting last night where Indigo proposed some major route changes. Those changes will transition the bus system from a hub and spoke model, which requires most routes to go through downtown, to a grid-based system. One woman who attended the meeting told us that the changes will leave a lot of people in her area without transportation. Indigo says they are listening to feedback and nothing is set in stone.
Currently, there's a lot of people that live in Pike Township that do not go to Pike schools. So they do use public transportation. I'm out there standing on the bus stop with these students, and I think that it's inconsiderate that they will no longer service us simply because there's not enough resources.
I want to make clear that even if we make changes today, that doesn't mean that we won't look at a route and make potential changes in the future.
Indigo says it will present a final proposal on route changes to its board of directors next week. That meeting is Thursday, the 27th.
An update this morning on the status of NASCAR driver Ryan Newman. We're happy to report the Hoosier native is awake and talking. The 42-year-old was hospitalized on Monday following this horrific crash in the last lap of the Daytona 500. Newman's team, Roush Fenway Racing, says he remains under the care of doctors at Daytona Hospital. They also say Ryan and his family appreciate the concerns and heartfelt messages from all those across the country. Back here at home, it is 5:08. Let's check in with Todd Clausen.
As you walk out the door here this morning, you're going to have to bundle up a little bit. It's running a little bit colder than it has been the past few mornings. The trade-off, though, is dry conditions. Yesterday, we were dealing with the fog and the drizzle that was out there. This morning, the skies are crystal clear, but look at these temperatures. We're in the mid-20s here throughout the course of the morning hours. Sunrise a little after 7 o'clock this morning. Should be a nice sunrise across across the area as we have completely clear skies. The only real clouds we have are here in extreme northern portions of Indiana, and that's more due just to the winds coming off the lake. No storm system or anything like that heading our way. This storm system will bypass us to the north, so it's just a real quiet day of weather, and we haven't really been able to string several days in a row of sunshine together so far really this year, as the overall weather pattern has been very active. Well, today is the first day of a sunny stretch of weather that takes us all the way into the weekend. Highs will be in the low 40s to the south in Bloomington as well as Columbus. As you work your way to the north, a little colder, a high today up in the Kokomo and Peru area, right around 35 degrees. I'll look ahead in your 7-day planning forecast to that weekend coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. A possible shakeup at the Justice Department. Straight ahead, why sources say Attorney General William Barr could be stepping down.
And a terrifying reminder to be careful who you let inside your home. Coming up, how one mother's hope for some newborn pictures ended up with her being drugged. We'll be right back.
Hiring Hoosiers only on RTV6.
Breaking overnight, sources say Attorney General William Barr has discussed possibly resigning if President Trump continues to tweet about the Justice Department's criminal investigations.
All of this comes just one day before the president's longtime friend and advisor Roger Stone is due to be sentenced. ABC's Andrew Dimbert joins us now with the new details.
A serious shakeup at the Department of Justice could be in the works. Sources telling ABC News Attorney General William Barr is considering stepping down over President Trump's tweets. It comes just hours after Trump openly defied Barr's public pleas to stop tweeting about ongoing Justice Department cases. Trump on Tuesday tweeting about the judge overseeing the Roger Stone case. And in an exclusive interview with ABC News last week, Barr had said Trump's tweets about friend and convicted confidant Roger Stone were disrupting his ability to manage the department.
To have public statements and tweets made about the department, about our people in the department, make it impossible for me to do my job.
But a DOJ spokesperson insists that the Attorney General has no plans to resign.
Are you making his job impossible?
Yeah, I do make his job harder. I do agree with that. I think that's true. He's a very straight shooter. We have a great Attorney General.
Now, Barr did say the president never explicitly got involved in the case, something he and Trump still maintain.
I never spoke to him about the Roger Stone situation.
The latest comments by the president come as a federal judge refused to delay sentencing for Roger Stone, which is set for Thursday. Stone was convicted on charges of lying to Congress and witness tampering, which stemmed from the Mueller probe.
I think it was a very, very rough thing that happened to Roger Stone.
And on Capitol Hill, Republican leaders like Mitch McConnell issuing a joint statement saying that they still support the Attorney General. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, Washington.
As the country waits to see if the president will offer a pardon to Roger Stone, fallout continues to grow this morning following President Trump's pardoning of several white-collar criminals. 11 people were pardoned or offered clemency Tuesday. That includes Eddie DeBartolo Jr., the former owner of the San Francisco 49ers, and former New York Police Commissioner Bernard Carrick. The most controversial move was the commutation of the 14-year sentence of former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich. He was convicted on corruption charges for attempting to sell former President Obama's Senate seat.
A verdict could come today in the sexual assault trial of disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein. The jury deliberated for about 5 hours Tuesday, but left without reaching a decision. Weinstein is currently charged with first-degree criminal sexual act, 2 counts of rape, and 2 counts of predatory sexual assault. He's also facing sexual assault and rape charges in Los Angeles County. The 67-year-old has pleaded not guilty to all charges against him.
Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, turned 60 today, but celebrations have been overshadowed by the recent drama surrounding his relationship with convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. The Queen's son stepped back from public duties back in November. That was after receiving backlash for an interview in which he tried to defend his friendship with Epstein. It is alleged that the disgraced financier arranged for the prince to have sex with a 17-year-old girl back in 2001. Epstein died by apparent suicide while awaiting trial on federal charges of sex abuse and sex trafficking. He had pleaded not guilty.
It's like something's wrong with me.
You think someone might have drugged you?
Yeah, I don't know.
When did this happen?
A woman's frantic call to 911 after allegedly being drugged by someone she hired to come to her home and photograph her newborn baby. Investigators say 38-year-old Juliet Parker posed as a photographer offering free photo shoots to new moms in hopes of building her portfolio. But this whole thing was actually just a plot to steal the woman's 14-week-old baby, rather. Investigators say Parker came to the alleged victim's home 3 times. On the last visit, a minor that was with Parker gave the woman a cupcake and wine. The woman told police that's how she thinks she was drugged.
I was fine, and then I ate a cupcake. I ate one, I was fine, I ate another one, and then my face started instantly going numb.
Okay.
And then they kept asking if I was getting tired or not.
And your experience.
Parker was arraigned on multiple charges Tuesday, including attempted kidnapping and second-degree assault. Investigators say they found other alleged victims, and now they're looking for more.
A police couple in Kentucky had their date night interrupted by an unwelcome guest. Chase and Nicole McCowan were at their favorite restaurant when they had to stop an attempted robber. Surveillance video shows a masked man walk up to the register, flash a gun, and demand cash. But what he did not know was that the McCowans were in the back of the restaurant. They say instinct kicked in as officers and as a couple. The two instantly pulled out their weapons and chased after the attempted robber. They were able to hold him until other officers arrived. Chase and Nicole say they hope the next date night comes with a little less adrenaline. Okay, that might just be my favorite story of the morning. That is pretty awesome.
They're very cool.
Yeah, and a very, very happy ending to that story. That is for certain. All right, Todd, and we'll have a good beginning to our day because the sun will rise and it will stick around.
Yeah, you know, and that's the key. The sunshine is going to stick around. Yesterday, a few peaks of sunshine in the afternoon, and it's been a very active start to this entire year. We're running well above normal precipitation-wise. Most of that obviously has been in the form of rain because we haven't had a lot in the way of snow. But today starts a nice dry stretch of weather where we're actually going to string several sunny days together in a row. That has not happened very often so far this year. 26 degrees, that's the current temperature, so it is chilly this morning, and the wind's out of the north-northwest right now at 8 miles per hour. And everybody's talking about temperatures in the mid-20s this morning. 25 in Bloomington, up 37 into Martinsville, as 26 degrees right now. In Greenfield, it's 25 in Lafayette. Richmond's at 24 degrees, but the colder air is making its push across a good chunk of the country. And you notice these temperatures in the teens. That's probably where we are as we work our way towards the end of the week. For overnight lows, our highs will be warmer, but just like so many times this winter, this is just going to be a quick glancing blow of the Arctic air that will be in place, and we'll see our temperatures start to moderate pretty quickly as we work our way into the weekend. So today it's sun-filled. That's the good news. 26 degrees at 9 a.m., 30 degrees at 11 a.m. Your noontime temperatures right around the freezing mark, and then high temperatures this afternoon eventually get up to about 36 to 37 degrees in many locations. Our normal high this time of year is in the low 40s, so it is going to be below normal. The trade-off, though, the sunshine, the February sun starting to get a little stronger. And so if you're in the sun this afternoon and with light winds, it won't really feel all that bad. But if you get in the shade or once the sun starts to set, that's when the chill will take over. Here are the clear skies, a little bit of snow off to our west. You don't have to worry about that. That is not heading in our direction. But what you will notice, especially if you're out later this afternoon or this evening, some high thin clouds will start to come in. And then overnight tonight, we'll start to see more in the way of clouds come into central Indiana. And this will actually help us out a little bit because it'll keep our temperatures from dropping off into the teens tomorrow. Still be chilly in the 20s. And it's not out of the question tomorrow morning there could be a few flurries or snow showers in northern locations, but it is not going to be a widespread issue for us. So tonight, temperatures fall back down into the 20s. Looking ahead in this forecast, we are talking about tomorrow, a high of only right around 30 degrees with partly cloudy skies, but then we're right back up into the mid-40s on Saturday. There's that sunny stretch of weather for you. Once we get to Sunday, it's still in the 40s, but rain showers will return to the forecast. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here's a live look at your commute through the downtown area. Our INDOT traffic camera at I-65, a view from St. Clair Street. Traffic here, as you can see, is traveling smoothly. The good news right now around the metro area, no major crashes or issues to slow you down. So let's travel down to the south side and plan out your drive heading northbound on State Road 37. Greenwood drivers starting off here at Stones Crossing Road as you're heading northbound on 37. It'll be a 13-minute drive I-95 up to the I-465 ramps, no delays. And then across town here on northbound I-65, a 10-minute commute from Southport Road to I-70 at the North Split.
The U.S. ranks 39th when it comes to children and their well-being. That's according to a new report released Tuesday. Researchers ranked 180 countries based on a Child Flourishing Index. That index measures things like children's survival, health, education, and nutrition. Countries were also ranked by their carbon emissions levels. Based on that data, the U.S. ranked near the bottom at number 173.
A good night's sleep does the body good. It can also make sure that you put some good into your body. Researchers followed nearly 500 women between the ages of 20 and 76. They self-reported their sleep and eating habits for a whole year. More than 1/3 of those women who reported eating an extra 500 to 800 calories per day on average had poor sleep or some level of insomnia. One possible reason for this connection is that our hormones stimulate hunger when we're sleep deprived. Insomnia can also trigger the parts of your brain that make it harder to control cravings. Did they follow us around for a year, Meredith?
That's why we have a chocolate cake here behind the desk that we've been sitting on. We're just kidding. We'll be right back.
Big money at Menards.
The first sign of spring is officially here. McDonald's Shamrock Shake is back today. The minty green treat is celebrating 50 years, and now you have 2 ways to enjoy it: the original flavor and a limited edition Oreo Shamrock McFlurry. This is the first year since 2017 the Shamrock Shake will be available nationwide at participating locations. And if you need a reason to indulge, a portion of every Shamrock Shake purchased goes to the Ronald McDonald House.
Those look good right now.
Yep, I was going to say we will take one of each, please, as our last story just told us that
we just want all the food.
Those with poor sleep crave
all of
sugar.
Us.
Yes. So yeah, we would not be mad if suddenly a Shamrock Shake appeared.
I have to walk up the street on the break and bring some back for everybody. So I won't melt on the way back very quickly.
That's the good news.
That's the good news. As temperatures this morning are sitting in the 20s for all of us, but it's a quiet start. No weather-related issues, no fog, no drizzle, plenty of sunshine today, 37. We keep the sunshine throughout the week, just a little bit below normal, but back above normal just in time for the weekend. The time now, 5:27. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Today at 10 on RTV6. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 5:30, after a family's Madison County home completely destroyed by a fire, concerns are being raised over response times. What area fire departments have to say about what they're doing to improve the confusion with emergency dispatch.
And dating violence among teens is a growing problem across the country. Our Kelsey Anderson is working for you this morning with a look at what schools are doing to help those impacted. But first, we want to get a check at our forecast. Some sunshine headed our way.
Yeah, it's been a pretty wet, I'd say 2 months or so, Todd. But today things are also cold, so that's kind of the downside.
Yeah, you know, there's always a trade-off, but I think anytime you get the sunshine, it helps to brighten things up, obviously, and that puts everybody in a better mood. You're just going to have to bundle up a little bit. We're not talking about terrible temperatures, just running slightly below normal for this time of year. So grab the sunglasses and keep them handy. We haven't been able to say that for a long time, this entire stretch of winter across the area, as it's been pretty active. It's just been a lot more rain than snow for us. Have the hat and gloves possible here the next few mornings, and the heavy jacket as well. So we're sitting in the 20s right now anywhere you go. At 26 in Indy, at 25 in Bloomington, 24 in Richmond and Greencastle. You're at 23 degrees. So everybody's just within a couple degrees of each other. That's because we all have clear skies, we all have light winds, and our temperatures are going to be pretty uniform across the area throughout the entire day today as we start to warm. The next storm system's off to our west. That only brings us a few clouds late tonight and into your Thursday morning. So enjoy the sunshine today as high temperatures, Lauren, eventually climb into the upper 30s.
Todd, thank you. Here is a live look right now at traffic, I-65 and 56th Street. You can see traffic here is moving along up to speed this morning on the northwest side. No issues to slow you down. So let's take a turn to our traffic now map and plan out your east side commute as you're heading in on westbound I-70 this morning from Post Road to the North Split. It is a quick 10-minute drive, no delays there. Let's take one more look right now over on the east side. This is I-70, Rural Street and Keystone Avenue. You can see everything here is picking up. Traveling up to speed. We'll continue to keep you updated on any crashes or delays. Fire departments are making some changes after this house fire here in Madison County raised concerns about emergency response times.
It happened Saturday in the Summer Lake community. A family of 4 was inside the home and able to evacuate safely. That neighborhood sits in the corners of Hamilton, Hancock, and Madison counties, which can lead to confusion when it comes to emergency response. The family says they called 911 at 12:08 a.m. According to Madison County, that call initiated a response that came in at 12:14 a.m. Because Green Township has a contract with Vernon Township at Hancock County for emergency services, the call was then transferred to them. The family says their call was transferred a total of 3 times and at one point was disconnected from dispatchers. Neighbors say by the time crews arrived, the house was destroyed.
The firefighters had nothing they could do. They stood back. They broke the fire hydrants open as quick as they could, but they stood back and let it burn the rest of the way because what else can they do? I respect the fire department. I respect the police department. They tried, but they bounced them around instead of having the absolute closest people here.
Vernon Township tells RTV6 they acknowledge there is an issue and are working to address it. Green Township leaders are also discussing possible ways to improve. They say the community should consider building its own fire station.
The community is stepping up to help a family who lost everything in that house fire. At the Pendleton Heights High School boys basketball game last night, students collected donations for the Simons family. The night took an emotional turn at halftime when Steve Simons, who escaped that burning home with his wife and 2 kids, thanked the crowd.
What this community has done for my family and the support that we have received, we will never be able to properly thank.
Student organizers say they've raised more than $15,000.
Police are still investigating what led up to this violent crash and possible shooting that left 1 person dead and another hurt. IMPD says officers in the area heard multiple gunshots in the crash. 4 cars in total were involved in the crash at 30th and Lafayette Road Tuesday morning. 1 woman was taken to the hospital with a gunshot wound but later died. Another person was injured and transported in serious condition. We talked to a man who witnessed the crash. He says the driver of the damaged blue car somehow walked away after being slammed into from behind while sitting at the light.
And all of a sudden, the Camaro came shooting all the way down the street at least 90 miles per hour and hit the car and spent it 3 times, and that's when it hit the Altima.
Police have not named any suspects in the shooting, but they said they do believe this incident was isolated and directed. IMPD is asking anyone with information to contact them.
A Carmel police officer will serve a year probation after pleading guilty to driving drunk. Brian Hood reached a plea agreement with Hamilton County prosecutors. He must complete a drug and alcohol evaluation and attend a victim impact panel. If Hood does not complete these requirements, he could serve up to a year behind bars. Hood is still employed with Carmel Police and has been on administrative leave since his September arrest. However, termination proceedings are underway.
A proposal banning drivers from using their cell phones on Indiana roads is moving forward in the State House. Yesterday afternoon, a Senate committee advanced a bill to make it illegal to hold and use your phone while driving. You can still use Bluetooth or hands-free technology. A similar bill has passed the House. At the beginning of the year, Governor Eric Holcomb said passing such a law is a top priority on his agenda. The proposal will now head to the full Senate. And lawmakers will be out for blood at the State House today. Blood donations, that is. The 12th annual Red Cross Indiana State House Donor Challenge goes from 9 to 4 in the South Atrium. The goal is to collect 100 blood donations.
Time now, 5:36. Dating violence among teens is a growing problem across the country, and school policies are being looked at as a way to curb the growing number of students who are impacted by it. According to a new study out of Ball State University, as of right now, most schools do not have a plan when it comes to taking action against teen dating violence. Our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with what advocates say needs to change. Kelsey, good morning.
Good morning, Lauren. So teen dating violence can happen in many forms. It can be physical, it can be mental, it can be emotional, and in today's world, it can be online. So what this study out of Ball State found is that more than 75% of the high school principals interviewed across the country said they didn't have a set protocol when it comes to responding to teen dating violence. Meanwhile, more than 50% of those same principals said that they've assisted survivors in the past 2 years. The author of the study says some principals said dating violence is a minor issue and, quote, "We are not here to deal with dating problems."
8 hours the child has to spend with you, and it becomes your responsibility, whether you want to call it a social responsibility, moral, ethical, legal. It is a responsibility, and you have to believe that children find schools to be their first source of contact for healthcare, social problems, academic problems, relationship issues.
While speaking with officials with the Indiana Coalition to End Domestic Violence, they say it's important that schools train their staff to handle teen dating violence. Now, they've also created model policies that schools can put in place when it comes to teen dating violence. I've got that linked for you over on the RTV6 News app. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. The time now is 5:38. After nearly 100 years in business, this popular Indiana attraction is closing down. The California-based company that owns Indiana Beach, that sits here on Lake Schaefer, announced it's shutting down the park. Randy Mitchell, the president of White County Economic Organization, tells RTV6 the news is unexpected. He thought business had been improving at the park. It was given a facelift back in 2016 with new lights, signs, and a roller coaster. Apex Parks Group says this decision was driven by finances and plans to sell as many rides as possible, including roller coasters. This is a big blow to the White County economy. Mitchell says that Indiana Beach employs about 900 workers during the summer months.
There's a new program in Anderson working to help teachers with classroom supplies. The U.S. Department of Education says 94% of public school teachers spend their own money on school supplies. Anderson Community Schools Education Foundation created Classroom Closet to help change that. The school supply closet is just for teachers and hopes to give them one less thing to worry about.
I have so many friends in this district, and they work so hard. And in every district, teachers work hard. And it's always a challenge.
Classroom Closet is made possible thanks to a $3,000 donation from the Madison County Credit Union. Here at 5:39, Todd, I'm liking what I'm seeing behind you.
I was just thinking to myself, I haven't used this graphic in quite a while because I was sick of bringing the bad news and telling you to leave the sunglasses at home. Well, today I can tell you to grab them this morning and keep them handy this afternoon because it's going to be a sun-filled day for us from start to finish throughout the entire day. And keep them handy not only today, but in the coming days. It's going to be the brightest stretch of weather that we've seen really so far this year. It's been very active, and so here we are getting a couple days in a row of sunny days together, taking us all the way into the weekend. The bad news is it's a little below normal for this time of year. 25 today as you walk out the door this morning with mostly sunny skies. Once the sun comes up, which is right around 7:30, sunset a little after 6 o'clock this evening, and we're looking at a temperature that's going to be right around 37 degrees. Our normal high this time of year is 41, so we're not too far below average. And with the sunshine, if you're in it this afternoon, it won't feel all that bad as the winds will be light as well. We'll talk more about the extended forecast and a peek at that weekend coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. As the voting begins in Nevada, presidential candidates on the Democratic side are set to face off in Vegas. Coming up, why some claim a frontrunner is overstating his support.
And after recent issues, Amazon is upgrading security on its Ring doorbell camera. Still ahead, the new information needed to log into the device starting this week.
And here at 541, this is a live look at traffic on the northeast side, I-465 and I-69. Traveling smoothly here. We'll be right back after this short break.
Snack time is saved.
Saved it.
Welcome back. It is 5:44 on your Wednesday. Here's a live look right now at traffic over on the west side, I-465 here and I-74. Everything's traveling up to speed. The good news right now, no crashes to slow down your morning commute.
A high-stakes presidential debate will be held on the Las Vegas Strip tonight. This will be Michael Bloomberg's first time facing off against his Democratic rivals.
It also comes as questions are being raised about whether one candidate is overstating the number of minorities supporting his campaign. ABC's Kimberly Brooks has the latest.
This morning, Michael Bloomberg is hours away from his first debate as a presidential candidate, and his rivals are taking aim at the billionaire businessman.
The working people of this country are tired of a corrupt political system in which billionaires think they can buy elections.
Bloomberg has spent an unprecedented $381 million on political ads so far. And now his campaign has announced if elected president, Bloomberg will immediately put his company into a blind trust and sell it.
Do you think he's buying the race, or do you think he's just trying to beat Donald Trump?
No, he's definitely trying to buy the race. But here's the thing. It's not that simple. You have to actually be willing to look voters in the eye, to take questions. At some point, you've got to be ready to be challenged.
Tonight's debate in Las Vegas comes 3 days before Nevada's caucuses, where many of the candidates will face their first test with minority voters, including Pete Buttigieg, who's under new scrutiny this morning.
Nevada is going to make history.
In several cases reviewed by ABC News, the Buttigieg campaign overstated its support among minority leaders, with people identified as supporters later saying their interactions had either been misunderstood or misconstrued. Campaign officials deny any attempts to overstate Buttigieg's support. In the meantime, the Trump campaign is taking out a full-page newspaper ad in today's Las Vegas Review-Journal with the words, "Democrats will kill Nevada jobs," in big red letters. Kimberly Brooks, ABC News, New York.
And Pete Buttigieg maintained his narrow lead in Iowa after the request for results to be recanvassed. Iowa State Democratic Party said that more than 100 caucus precincts have ended their review of those votes. Buttigieg still leads Bernie Sanders, but it did shrink to less than 100th of a percentage point. However, it does not impact the national delegate count. Buttigieg will still be awarded 14 national delegates from Iowa, while Sanders will receive 12. Sanders' campaign says it now plans to formally request a recount of several precincts.
After recent scandals, Amazon says it's upgrading its Ring doorbell security cameras by changing the way you log into your account. Starting this week, Ring users will have to enter a 6-digit code whenever they want to see their indoor and outdoor cameras. You'll either get that code by text or email. The Ring video doorbell will also have new options for controlling when data is shared with other companies.
SpaceX says it'll be ready to send thrill seekers into space as soon as next year. They signed a deal that would send 4 people aboard its Crew Dragon spacecraft. The passengers would have to squeeze into a spaceship that's just 13 feet across. They would then spend 5 days in space. There's no official word on what the trip would cost, but a spokesman says it should be along the lines of the previous flights, which ran into the tens of millions of dollars. A tight squeeze there. All right, let's check in with Todd as we're heading out the door, what we can expect in the forecast.
All right, it's pretty quiet. That is the good news as you walk out the door on this Wednesday morning. Here we are halfway through the work week, and your commute's going to be nice and easy, at least weather-wise. You just need to bundle up a little bit here this morning, and we'll feature plenty of sunshine today with sunrise this morning just a little bit after 7:30 here going forward throughout the day. 26 degrees is the current temperature, just a light wind at a north-northwest at 8 miles per hour. So the wind is not going to be all that strong today, but with that north-northwesterly wind component, our temperatures are just not really going to take that big jump forward, even with sunshine. So it's a slow but steady climb up into the mid-30s later on this afternoon. 23 in Greencastle right now, 26 in Greenfield. Muncie's at 29 in Lafayette. You're sitting at 25 degrees, but we get the sunshine back. Yesterday it started to make an appearance in the afternoon hours as those clouds thinned out. Well, today we have it from start to finish. 33 degrees by the time we get to the noon hour. Your high today is about 37 to 38 degrees, and then we'll fall back down to right around freezing by 6 p.m. The Storm Team 6 radar finally giving it a break. We've had over 8 inches of rainfall throughout the course of this year so far, and not a whole lot in the way of snow. So it's been a very active stretch of weather. This is our first real extended period of quiet weather across the area. As we expand out, you notice this snow just north of Omaha. That is going to bypass us to the north. You do not have to worry about that. If you have evening plans tonight, maybe heading out for dinner, temperatures will be falling back down into the 20s later on this evening with increasing clouds. So that's one subtle change that we'll have late in the day and then eventually into tomorrow morning, as we're going to have a little more in the way of some high thin cloud cover coming in, and that's actually going to help us out a little bit, because if we didn't have that, everybody would be probably down into the low teens tomorrow morning. It's still going to be cold, but that cloud cover keeps us at about 21 in Indy, 25 in Columbus, 20 in Peru, and 19 in Lafayette. And then going forward, tomorrow's the coldest day that we have in our forecast, as highs will struggle to get back to 30 degrees. So tomorrow's a cold day for us by any standards. afternoons, it's still bright with plenty of sunshine. But Friday, we start the warming trend. We're up to 35 degrees with a start in the teens once again. Friday morning's the coldest morning that we have in our forecast. But once we get past Friday morning, it's pretty decent. 35 Friday afternoon, 45 with sunshine on Saturday, and then into the mid-40s on Sunday, Monday, and near 50 by Tuesday. The trade-off Sunday into Monday, we'll deal with some scattered rain showers across the area. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's plan out your drive here on this Wednesday, heading southbound along Interstate 69 through Hamilton County, starting off here at State Road 37, heading to the I-465 ramps. No delays, a 5-minute commute. Let's take a look right now over on the east side of town, I-465 and I-70. That interchange is moving along up to speed. No crashes to report right now around the Indy metro area.
Thousands of fans received emails overnight letting them know if they had a chance to buy tickets to the celebration of life for Kobe and Gianna Bryant. The event is scheduled for Monday at the Los Angeles Staples Center. Tickets were distributed by Ticketmaster. If there are open seats still, they will be available to the public later today. Prices range from $24.02 to $224. The Bryants were buried earlier this month at a California cemetery.
At 5:51, after being diagnosed with Parkinson's, rock singer Ozzy Osbourne is canceling his North American summer tour dates. Osbourne said in a statement that he will go to Europe for treatment and then spend time recovering from his health issues. If you bought tickets to the No More Tours 2, you'll get a refund. Ticket holders will also get first dibs on tickets for Osbourne's next tour.
Okay, this is Todd Clausen's worst nightmare. A fire department in England keeps getting slithery surprises at its door. After the break, why they keep finding pillowcases full of real snakes. Yeah, you'll want to stick around for that answer. We'll be right back.
Marshall's, your surprise is waiting.
Welcome back. It is 5:54. Here's a live look right now at traffic on I-65. A live look near 56th Street where everything's moving along up to speed.
A fire department in the UK keeps trying to figure out who continues to drop off snakes outside their door. They recently found 16 snakes that were stuffed inside of a pillowcase. This is the second round of snakes that's been dumped at the station. Another pillowcase of snakes was left last Thursday. That one had 13 royal pythons inside. All of the snakes were in good shape when firefighters found them. Now officials are trying to figure out where all these reptiles come from and who keeps leaving them there.
Nope.
Those two are so afraid of snakes. I mean, in the grand scheme of things,
you're like, ugh, another one of these pillowcases.
There are worse things I feel like could be left at your door.
Todd's like, no, this is probably the worst.
I see the biggest, hairiest spider. I don't care. I'm fine with that. But snakes, ugh. I don't like them. All right, outside right now, temperatures are in the 20s. It's cold outside. 25 in Bloomington, 29 in Muncie. While it's cold and you need to bundle up, at least Storm Team 6 radar is nice and quiet for us across the area this morning. There's no weather-related issues at all for your commute to work this morning or coming home later on this afternoon. And as you do start your commute home, we're looking at a temperature for a high today right around 37 degrees. That's still a little bit below normal, but with the sunshine and the relatively light winds, it'll be pretty pleasant out there throughout the afternoon hours. And today's the first of several days in a row of sunshine in this forecast. More on that coming up in just a little bit.
Todd, thank you. February is American Heart Month, and that includes raising awareness of heart attacks. Coming up at 6, one woman's incredible story of survival and how she's now taking life one step at a time. It's 5:56. We'll see you on the other side of the break.